Brendan Rodgers will be having nightmares when he goes to bed tonight, and he'll be haunted by these 4 words. The Rangers are coming. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football for another Spfl match day review show. It was a good weekend for Rangers. It wasn't a great weekend for Celtic, and it was a so-and-so weekend for St Johnstone. They got absolutely humped, but they got rid of a manager in Stephen Maclean, who was probably going to take them down. So it's hard to determine whether St Johnstone have come out of the weekend better than when they went in, but they look like they're destined for the championship, unfortunately for them. It comes at a tough time when they are trying to get new owners, and a club is just more sellable if it's in the top flight and not the second flight. But with that said, we'll start off in the lower leagues. We'll get our way to the Premiership, and then we can talk about all the big breaking news in the Scottish League's top division. But for now, it was a game near the top of League One. It was Montrose versus Hamilton. I believe you said you thought Montrose could do something and maybe challenge top 2. I say to you, absolutely no chance. Hamilton are too good, and I was right. Hamilton were too good. 3 goals to 0.
If I speak, I'm in big trouble. So yeah,
just don't speak then, because you don't know what you're talking about.
That's what I did say. But you know what? You hear about that takeover business? City Group. Some City Group want to take over an SPFL team. Maybe it could be St Johnstone. The City Group, of course, own Man City.
Red Bull Saints.
Yeah, why not? And also, what do you call him? Ryan Reynolds that took over Wrexham.
Mm-hmm.
The guy behind that is a fan of Arbroath, but they didn't want to go into the Scottish League because the English pyramid's more valuable. Fucking, we could have had Welcome to Arbroath with Dick Campbell, but what did we get? Welcome to fucking Wrexham?
True, but I mean, if we get a major takeover, then that will obviously just help the Scottish pyramid become more valuable. If you've got more teams dishing out more money, it will help the Scottish League overall. The only problem is it's going to take someone from being like an also-ran to probably the best team. Let's be real, if the City Group took over a team, you would expect them sooner rather than later to be winning league titles. The Old Firm would be fighting for second place.
Yeah, it's an easy way into the Champions League.
So I definitely think there's value on it. Yeah, like you said, maybe not so much from the Scottish standpoint. Commercially, it's not like the Premier League, but I mean, you can get into the Champions League, and I think it would drag the rest of Scottish football up with it. I mean, the Saudi League was shite, but soon, I mean, they started getting players in, so.
And you got to bear in mind, you know what it would do, right? Obviously, they're not creating a new club. I know there'd be a lot of plastics that would go along with it. But see, if you were a lifelong supporter of one of those teams, how fucking great would it be that your team's just automatically better than the Old Firm? You've locked in. You've got the winning ticket.
Although I could actually see a lot of people that wouldn't want it to happen to their team.
No, I agree with that.
But
I wouldn't like to sell it.
But there's equally there's a lot of people that would like it to happen. But anyway, it's not going to happen to Montrose. I don't think it's going to happen to Hamilton either. Hamilton will win. Joseph McGlynn, Jamie Barjonas, and Kyle MacDonald. Barjonas, former Rangers man, couldn't really cut it at the top flight, but he's having a decent wee spell. At Hamilton, he's doing alright. Hamilton 3, Montrose
Hamilton also doing alright.
Now, speaking of a team that I think they could get their first win of the season.
I agree.
And I believe I predicted 2-1. I might not have been right with the scoreline, but they did in fact get their first win of the season. And this could obviously now give Edinburgh City a chance to kick on. And maybe we're looking at a team that can dig themselves out the relegation zone, because I know it's early days, but I mean, at this point, I don't think many people are giving Edinburgh City hope. I think a lot of people are just assuming that they would be bottom of this league and that they would be in League 2 next year. But I believe that is now 3 games without a defeat. I think it's 2 draws and then obviously a win at the weekend. So Edinburgh City have obviously they found something. They've got a bit of momentum going, and they've closed the gap to the other teams that are above them. So all of a sudden they've looked like they're going guaranteed down to potentially giving themselves a chance.
Yeah, phenomenal for them. You know what? They've turned it around, and hopefully this is. Well, I say hopefully, I've got no really ties to Edinburgh City, but you know what? I don't want to see a team just go down without fucking any fights, so give us it, damn it. Give us it.
Give us it. Give us the volume. Falkirk 3, Alloa Athletic 0. Big win for Falkirk. They're just not stopping in this league. Only points they've dropped have been against Hamilton Academical. Goals for Alfredo Agiman twice, and then Cole Donaldson, who I believe played for Airdrie back in the day. I could be wrong though.
I almost heard Alfredo Morelos there, but it was Alfredo Agiman.
Oh, hold on, when was the last time Morelos scored 2 goals? Catch yourself on. It was, Alfredo Agiman there. He probably still did a better job than Dessers, to be fair, but he helped Falkirk get a 3-0 win at Alloa, and again, 4,500. I mean, Falkirk do bring decent fat, and this is to League One football. I think we need these teams in the Premier League.
Falkirk to Fairmont, come on.
I'm no offence to your levies, but I mean, we do need... It is embarrassing sometimes. You look at the empty seats in Scottish football. I say sometimes, there's always empty seats. But no, come on. I think we need... If Falkirk can't be in the Premier League, they're at least Championship. They are way too big of a club to be League One.
No, they're at least Premiership.
Way
Fan
too
base
big.
they are. Let's not...
Dunfermline as well. It was actually shocking that both of them found themselves in League One. Celtic Hearts 1, Stirling Albion 0. I think I predicted Celtic Hearts to win this. I can't exactly remember, but I think I did.
Yeah, you did. You said one team for Hearts.
Oh, I did, aye. I was right then, wasn't I? I got my prediction right. Lewis Moore in the 89th minute, grabbing the win for Celtic Hearts. And then in the last game of League One, it was Cove Rangers 1, Queen of the South 0 at Palmerston Park. The Palmerston Pep loser out here. Effie Ambrose contributed to the cards in the 94th minute. Only one player to get booked in the full game. Pretty strange. It was Roman Borrell, that gave Cove Rangers the win, and Queen of the South, they're just struggling at the moment.
Yeah, Marvin Bartley, he needs to lay off Super Scoreboard. He needs to...
Well, maybe he'll get sacked and he can do a couple more nights. He can replace that boring bastard Simon Donnelly. I'd be all for that.
Yeah, he is the worst. Yeah. That's what he sounds like, man. Yeah.
Are you taking after him or something?
I'm pretending to be him. That's
like the shitest LA Knight impersonation I've ever heard.
That's what he's like, though.
Anyway.
No, and there was that time they were trying to explain it to him and it just went over his head.
The question was an answer.
Aye, but he's like, what? What?
Not Mulgrew. What's the guy? Robson? No, what's the guy that does it with... What's the Celtic guy? Former Celtic guy?
Mark Wilson.
Mark Wilson, aye. Mark Wilson was a answer. So himself.
I like Mark Wilson. You know what? He may be a Celtic man, but he's funny.
He is. I like him and Gordon. Best nights on scoreboard. But anyway, let's look at the League One scoreboard, or more importantly, the League One table, and we can see that Falkirk do lead it. They are still unbeaten. I said they'd only dropped points in one game. I got that wrong. They've actually dropped points in 2 games, but they're still unbeaten. As are Hamilton, who are in second place behind them. 27 points, just 2 points behind. And then we've got a big gap to Celtic Hearts. And then it's pretty close, but obviously that win that Edinburgh City got against Annan Athletic closed the gap. And I believe that's who they beat. So that would mean that's a massive swing here. Had Annan Athletic beat Edinburgh City, Edinburgh would have been left on 3. Annan would have been on 11. And then all of a sudden, it's looking
must-win game it was.
Yeah. So they've done well. That's a true definition of a 6-pointer, and they've got the gap down to 2. And they've also, the goal difference now is looking pretty doable as well, manageable. So they're only 2 goals off Annan Athletic. So yeah, Edinburgh City going in the right direction. I think they've given themselves a chance now of staying up. Anyway, any thoughts on this? You got anything to add? Big Stevie Cool 1872, or as Michael Miles would call you, it's Big Stevie Cool 2012.
Alright, Portobello, mate. Right, so Falkirk and Hamilton, that's brilliant. Edinburgh City, at least I know a drift.
It's only European trips Hearts will be going on.
It's not European, like I said.
Well, trips outside of Scotland, non-domestic trips. Fuck it. Right, let's move on. Don't even want to talk about Hearts.
Trips? It's fucking in Edinburgh.
Well, whatever, man. Non-league game. Fuck.
Aye, fucking botch, man. Let's talk about these bastards. They hoovered me at my fucking bet. Ayr United against Greenock. That was a nailed on. And Greenock Morton jobbed us clean out with a George Oakley goal. What's that about? I want those bastards relegated and they're going to stay up.
George Oakley on the 87th minute. I was 2-1 to Scotland. Big shout out to Chris's Morton's TV. We're a big follower of that channel.
I am, yes. Big followers. You know what, the guy's been living at large for the last few years. I mean, you know what, we've been following him since that game. at Hampden?
We have.
That's 6 years. That's mental.
That is mental. Anyway, speaking of mental, Inverness Caledonian Thistle, they're a brand new team under Big Dunk. They are just putting together results, and they've put another one together here. I predicted a draw in this match, but David Witherspoon, the former St Johnstone man, actually got them the win. So yeah, Inverness with a victory. And I mean, it comes the same time as Greenock Morton. So I mean, not only do they cancel each other out, but they potentially bring themselves closer to the rest of the pack too. So maybe it's not going to be an automatic shootout between Morton and Inverness Caledonian Thistle here.
Yeah, no, they're dragging every team closer.
Maybe we were too quick to write them off. Raith Rovers won, Dunfermline won. I did predict a Raith Rovers win. They left it late, very late. Lots of cards as well in the dying moments. Maybe there was maybe the goal caused a bit of controversy or something like that, but we can see free bookings within the last couple of minutes of the game. But it was a late goal itself. Samuel Stanton with a 94th minute winner for Raith Rovers. 6,000 in attendance at Starks Park, and it's a big win for Raith, who are doing well this season and look like they could be on their way to claiming a playoff spot. I still don't think anyone's going to challenge Dundee United at this point, but Raith definitely looking good for top four.
Yep, Fife Derby. Raith seems to have won the last load of them. I can't remember the last time Dunfermline won one. It's always Raith, isn't it? Double R.
I'd be lying if I said I took much interest in the Fife Derby to remember.
Yeah, I'm not saying I take interest in it, right? But it seems like Raith have won, I'd say that at least the last 5.
Where are you plucking that number, Faye?
I can guarantee you that. I take note. When do you take note?
Obviously, I don't.
You thought Hearts had pumped Celtic in the last 9 games before the previous one, didn't you?
I was fucking wishing that was the case.
We all wish. But anyway, back to Friday.
Friday as well. We had 2 games on Friday. We had the Queen's Park 2, Partick Thistle 2, Stephen Lawless and Tommy Adeol for Partick Thistle, and Rory Patton and Jack Turner for Queen's Park. And it was a bunch of goals in a small space of time. 4 goals in about 17 minutes.
Yeah, you know what? Seems like these two play each other every week. I mean, last season, the playoffs, insane amount of goals. Both teams just can't defend, and that is the unmaking of them. Awful. I think Queen's Park, the defending last season was abysmal towards the end of the last.
Yeah, they blew the league. Although what I would say is, I just don't think Queen's Park would have been that good if they came up. I think they'd have been going straight back down. Whereas, in my opinion, Dundee have improved massively. Obviously, Tony Docherty taking over. It was a big gamble. It was his first real job, first job as a first team manager, and he's proven to be successful there.
It's hard to say though. If Queen's Park went up, who could they have signed? They could have maybe Glasgow club, but investment. Who would have knows what would have happened?
Could that be a club that the City Links would be interested in?
Club, isn't it? I think it's
one of them.
I think it's Britain's oldest club.
I mean, if they can get him to Hampden, is that not something that they'd be looking at?
Exactly.
Yeah. Or an Edinburgh club that can use Murrayfield, is that not something that I think that's what they will go with? I just don't see them going anywhere else really.
You've got to think logically, because see if you do that, you don't even have to build a stadium to fulfil your dreams. Because if you're bringing league trophies, you can't be playing in a stadium that holds 3,000.
No, you can't be. And then in the other game, Dundee United 6, Arbroath 0. Moult, Docherty, Fotheringham, Tony Watt, Moult again, and then Annam in the 87th minute. Easy win for Dundee United, 6-0. And
this is Arbroath.
And I think it's fair to say that Dundee United are going to walk this league at the moment. And Jim Goodwin has done pretty well. And I believe someone on this channel said the guy would be sacked by the end of August. And are you anything to add to that?
I did. He didn't. We move on. I don't think the guy's that good though. Doesn't change my opinion. I think Jim Goodwin will get found out next season in the Premiership. I mean, the guy got beat against Darvel. And hold on, you're the dick that said Aberdeen should have kept him?
I think they should have, aye.
No.
He's better than Robson.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything.
It means he's better than the current manager. 100% that means something. What do you mean that? That's like saying, I don't think Robbie Nielsen's that good. Well, that's your opinion, but he's better than Stephen A. Smith, so we're doing better to keep him.
Yeah, but let's be real, right? Gio's better than Beale, but if they didn't sack Gio last season, fuck knows what would have happened. And
Gio might have bounced back and won the league.
Aye, fucking dead on.
Well, we'll never know. Anyway, what we do know is the Cinch Championship League table looks like this. Dundee United leading the way, although Raith Rovers only 4 points behind with a game in hand. But look, let's not kid ourselves on here. Dundee United are going to win this league.
They are, every day of the week. And you know what, after a shaky start, they look pretty much unstoppable.
Yeah,
There's so many goals in the team, and I think that's...
They've only conceded 4 as well.
Yeah.
10 games played, scored 28, conceded 4. I mean, that is some going. That's great, to be fair.
That is great, and you know what? They'll probably finish with one of the highest points totals that we've seen in the Championship, I think.
So they're averaging 2.8 goals a game, and they're conceding 0.4 goals per game. So yeah, that is it's fantastic.
No, it is. It really is fantastic. What else is fantastic? Inverness and Morton. You want a congested league. You want loads of teams having a risk of potentially going up and going down, and you don't want two teams falling adrift at the bottom. So.
Yeah, and it was beginning to look like they were falling adrift. Obviously, that win now brings them a little bit closer to the rest of the pack. But, I mean, it is so fucking close here. I mean, look at this league table. It is so close. Queen's Park could find themselves in a bit of trouble. They played an extra game.
I think, 3 extra games. Aye. Well, 2. It was 3 before the other day.
Well, it's 2 now.
It is 2 now, but you know what? 11, that's a massive difference. Could be all over for Morton and Inverness if they catch Queen's Park. Because Queen's Park's defence is a bit... I can just see Dunk telling Inverness, if you can see the goal, I'm going to fucking buy you.
Could be all over for Morton and Inverness if they catch Queen's Park.
Well, I meant for Queen's Park.
Well, that's it.
Let's talk about your fucking team next then.
Anything to add? Can you actually string a sentence together here?
Alright, Kevin, Fan, Philip. Right, big man, let's move on. Your team. The team in Mirren.
No. Championship teams, have you anything to add?
Dundee United are going to win with a record points total, and Queen's Park are going down. That's it. That's all you need to know.
You think they're going to beat the Hearts points total?
Aye, 27 points clear of Rangers. Aye, well, how many fucking points do you clear Rangers a day? In present day? Not pishy championship titles that we don't fucking count.
Well, you should be counting them. That's the only titles you've got over the past fucking...
well, more than Hearts.
I would no more than St Johnstone and they're going down, so what's your thoughts on that? It's fucking Saints.
More league titles. On the Kelly.
COVID titles don't count, apparently.
Aye, they do. Well, then St Johnstone's, don't you, Dick? Rangers have got one more.
No, they don't have the same.
No, they don't. They've got one more.
How do they?
If the COVID titles don't count, they've got one more.
How many titles St Johnstone won?
They won it during the COVID season.
No, they didn't. They won 2014. Won the Scottish League Cup.
I'm on about recent years, alright?
I'm on about the last decade.
I will see.
Since the Rangers were born. Anyway, let's speaking about being born. Born again, brother beaten was the difference maker today. He stood up when the likes of Dessers and Lammers could not. He pointed to the spot multiple times to help Rangers on their way to a 2-1 win. A Tavernier penalty in the 90th minute, and then a Danilo header in the 93rd minute cancelled out Lawrence Shanklin's goal in the 5th minute. I'd say this game was lost by Hearts in the second half, though. Stephen Naismith, the tactics in the second half were abysmal. It was literally just sit everyone behind the ball, give Rangers the ball, and we'll just sit back and soak up pressure. And I mean, it almost worked because Rangers are a bit shit, but it's not ideal. It's not ideal. And this guy promised attacking, free-flowing football. He certainly didn't show it today.
He didn't show it today, and you know what? I think the Old Firm need to do a bit... No, the teams against the Old Firm need to do a bit more. See, when you go 1-0 up, you can't just defend for 90-odd minutes. It just doesn't work like that. Like, honestly, like if you even... Like, see Rangers and Celtic against better teams... Could you imagine, right, if Celtic, when they went 1-0 up against Atletico Madrid, just fucking... They just parked the bus like Hearts did here? You're just going to concede. If you're on the up...
Especially when you're giving away penalties.
If you're on the front foot, you know, make use of it. Hearts went 1-0 up, and apart from that flash across the box that Shanklin did in the second half, I believe, they had nothing.
Hearts went 1-0 up, and brother John Beaton wasn't having it.
No, he wasn't. He tried his best. He gave them 2 penalties, man.
Normally it's penalty to Rangers. Today it was penalties to Rangers, but, I mean, whatever.
And brother Beaton, we trust. What a man. What a beautiful man. Season ticket holder.
Rangers 1-2-1. Not a lot else to add.
They were both fucking penalties. Let's not kid ourselves.
Stephen Naismith came out and says the second one was not a penalty.
I don't give a fuck what Stephen Naismith said. Alright.
Well, normally I don't either, but I might agree with him on this.
No, I've even seen Celtic fans on Twitter saying the second one was a stone wall. Thoughts on that?
I've seen Celtic fans say it wasn't, and John Beaton's in the pocket.
Aye, well, you've got to get the best of both worlds with Celtic fans, alright?
Let's just move on.
Big joke new, but it was a different joke. Fuck off.
Come on, 2 Aberdeen 0.
Well, this game was on Sky. You had Chris Boyd, and Chris Sutton.
You had Chris Sutton and Chris Boyd, alright? 2 Chris's, but spelt differently. Listen, Chris Button, Jensen Button, maybe you're thinking of, right? But there's no Chris Button.
I combined both their last names, that's what I did. I thought you would have caught on to that.
Did you? Fuck, you made a botch, and you're trying to rectify the problem. Admit it, we can
That's
move
called
on.
dyslexia, mate.
Is it? Fair enough. Anyway, it was Kilmarnock 2, Aberdeen 0 at the Rugby Park Stadium. 5,408 in attendance. Referee Kevin Clancy, another guy that doesn't know what he's doing, and Kilmarnock proved that they are one of the teams that to be recognised. They are one of the teams that are going to be pushing for a top 6 spot, and I think they will. They're into top 6 now, back-to-back wins, and when it's a tight contested league in the middle of the pack, 2 wins in a row can literally take you from towards the bottom to right near the top, and that's what's happened with Kilmarnock. I fancied them today. I thought they'd win. Not even because of Aberdeen's European game midweek. I just thought that Kilmarnock, I looked at Derek McKinnon's Rugby Park, I just thought, you know what, Kilmarnock's going to beat Aberdeen.
2 things,
and
right?
They did.
Massive mistake here for Aberdeen for the Watkins goal. I mean, killed the game. And I think you could almost accept the European excuse if they won. They get beat. No, I think so.
So hold on,
I think if they put all the effort and they win 2-0, it's like, oh, aye, alright. But I mean, come on. You get pumped 3-2 and balled it. I'm not buying European pish.
Wait, so what the fuck does the result in Europe have? They still played 90 minutes.
Yeah, I know, but...
And they did put effort in it. They should have won the game.
It shouldn't matter.
No,
you know
what are you talking about? They put effort in. They should have won the game. They were robbed.
They were robbed. They were fucking pish.
VAR. Were they robbed or not?
No, they get fucking... No, they're pish.
So hold on. You're saying that both Rangers... You're saying both Rangers got goals 100% penalties, but Aberdeen, that VAR decision wasn't robbed.
Right, they did get robbed. But my point is, right, you can't just hope... They're fucking shit.
You're more corrupt than John Beaton. Fuck me. Right, guys, Purcell and Marley Watkins won. Let's just move on.
Brother Steve.
Brother Steve. I'm sick of all these brothers, man. Fuck me. We need some competent... Get Robbie Nielsen back, right? We need some strong referees, especially in Glasgow. We need the strongest of the strong.
What about in Aberdeen?
Well...
Aberdeenshire.
Up next we had not a lot to speak about in this match, just 2 shite teams really. Hibernian 0, Celtic 0, couple of yellow cards, that was it.
Yeah, it was a battle of who could show the most tricolours and Palestinian flags in this game and end at 0-0.
I think Celtic win that hands down.
They probably do, but you know what?
Is there any Union Jacks at Celtic Park?
No. Martin Boyle, right, missed an open net and James Forrest hit the post or the bar. So I think a draw was a fair result. Neither team did enough to win. Celtic fans can but it was a shite performance. And you know what? It kind of gives me false hope about what the future could lie ahead. But, you know, I'll take 5 points right now.
18,500 people in attendance. Should Celtic have been given a bigger allocation?
No.
Or is it on Hibs to sell more tickets? Or is that just part of football, really?
You know what? I think the home team should be able to do what they want unless the league steps in.
The thing is, right, see, it doesn't matter what the capacity is, because you're never going to sell the capacity in Scottish football because of the stewards and the police, and they will just, like, for safety reasons, they're going to take a couple of rows away anyway.
Yeah,
so
every game.
You're never going to hit the maximum capacity because you can't have fans that fucking close. I'm saying that, it kind of used to like back in the day, but you'd have about like 150 fucking police officers side by side. But I've noticed that now, that, and maybe it's because they just don't have any, maybe it's because they're limiting the away fans. They know they can afford to take away seats.
Yeah.
But I've noticed the gap between home fans and away fans is a lot bigger now than it used to be.
No, absolutely is.
Back in the day, they used to get packed in like sardines. Now there's like a, you know, I'd say they've got about a dozen seats, a dozen rows at times.
Aye, it'd be near enough.
Look at the gap at Tynecastle between the Celtic and the Hearts fans. There's a big, massive gap there. Empty rows.
I'd say Hearts is actually one of the worst ones. IBROX, I'd say it's about 6 seats. But you know what? It ain't just a one club thing, it's a league thing. They need to rectify it and sit down. Celtic can't complain about only getting 500 seats at Tynecastle and they're only given 900 seats at fucking Parkhead.
Aye, to Rangers, or to anybody really. I mean,
aye, and at Parkhead it's a restricted few.
And at Park, are they not saying they're not giving Rangers any tickets?
Yeah, they're not giving them any.
And then these are the people that in the same breath will complain and say, oh, well, Hearts, look at that, they didn't sell out their stadium, they should have given Celtic fans more tickets. Well, why don't you give Rangers some tickets? But the whole thing's a mess now because Rangers have sold out more season tickets now and they can't go back to their allocation. I think Celtic probably could go back, or at least give it. Celtic can afford to give Rangers more tickets than Rangers can afford to give Celtic, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
Rangers have obviously opted to take more money. by selling out more season tickets, and it just means they just can't make those season ticket holders disappear.
No.
What are they supposed to do? They're supposed to say, well, you were the last person to buy a season ticket. We need to go back to the larger allocation, so we're revoking your ticket. I mean, I just don't see that happening.
Well, see, there is season tickets.
I get that, but
I think you've just got to go, right, if we're getting already a stand here for the Celtic fans to be in, then whatever that allocation is, you've got to take out the last 8,000 that got a season ticket. You're not allowed your season ticket for the Old Firm games. That's probably the only way you've got to do it, but Rangers never got to do that. It's not fair to have 8,000 at random. I can't go get a season ticket tomorrow. Somebody that's had one for 50 years gets a Hoover off them and I'm alright. It can't work like that. That's not right. That's not right.
I think it'd be better if we could just give the away team the full stand behind the goal.
That's what I'm saying, though.
But obviously, you can only really give that to Rangers or Celtic because they're the only ones that could sell it out, I would imagine. Alright, definitely Edinburgh Derby could sell it, things like that, and maybe like Hearts, maybe like Aberdeen going to Rangers and stuff like that, Hearts and Hibs going to Celtic or Rangers, you could possibly sell that out, but like if you're going to give Livy a full stand behind the goal, then you're wasting the full stand.
They'll just look like it's a
empty
COVID game.
Under reconstruction or something like that. Anyway, speaking of Livy 0, Dundee 2, Joe Shaughnessy with both goals for Dundee. Any thoughts on him getting both goals?
You know what? I've never really... I don't even remember his name. Don't even recall him. But do you think it was a red?
You don't know who he is?
I don't think I've ever heard the name before.
Joe Shaughnessy?
No.
Former St Johnstone defender?
You got both goals?
Yes. Hold on, you claim to be a Scottish football fan. You don't know who Joe Shaughnessy is?
You couldn't point to any of these clubs on a fucking map, so let's just leave it at that. But I think it was a red. Bad tackle.
At least I know the players. Yeah, I believe he was there when they won the Cup double.
I'm telling you.
Shaughnessy, you knob.
So what's he doing at Dundee? Dundee are sitting.
Oh, aye, because St Johnstone's way better. Christian Montano getting sent off for Livy, not good, and then Dundee took advantage of it. 2 late goals. Joe Shaughnessy gives him a 2-0 win. Again, that referee with another useless wanker, Willie Collum. I don't rate any referee in Scotland, to be fair.
No. And the fact you know all their names is a problem.
Well, you don't really know them for the... I'd say if they were doing good jobs, their names would just go under the radar.
Yeah, like they're all Earl Hebners, if I would say is 97.
Aye. Anyway, let's move on to Motherwell, Ross County. It was 3-3 in that game.
It was absolutely the game of the weekend. I mean, 6 goals, a draw, comeback, some worldies in there as well, and a late comeback there with Lucas Ross with the 94th minute equaliser. So, Luca Ross getting a good goal for Motherwell, making it 3-3. Good point for them. They had to get that because had they lost, I believe that would have been 5 defeats in a row for Motherwell, and you don't want to be doing that, especially after a good start to the season. I think they need it to win this, so I know they've got to draw it, but...
They were behind twice, right? Obviously before the match they needed a win, but I think they'd probably take a point considering the situation they found themselves in.
Gordon Duncan, Champions League music. I will fucking wind your neck in, big man, right? That's the hard hitting
Rangers won't be hearing that anyway, so sorry.
Dun.
Good point there for Ross County, and I guess good point for Motherwell considering. And then
is it a good point for Ross County though? 3-1 up
before the game, absolutely. It's a good point.
Oh, hold on, the game. I mean, was a narrow defeat to Rangers at IBROX good for Hearts? Before the game, it was, but not.
Well, it was closer than I was expecting it to be, so maybe it was.
All right.
And then we move into the last game of the episode, last game of the weekend. Even St Mirren 4, St Johnstone 0. Bacchus, Mandarin, and Kelty with the goals. Bacchus, really good strike. St Mirren again, just performing really well. 5,592 fans in attendance. David Dickinson, the referee, reminds me of that guy that did the bargain hunt.
What's his name?
No, David Dickinson as well.
I know it's Dickinson. Dickinson's real deal, but I don't know if it's David.
Anyway, it was a real deal performance from St Mirren, and it was a Tesco meal deal performance from St Johnstone.
It was the plain crisps, it was the bottle of water, and it was the fucking ham.
We need cheese.
Aye, that's what Stephen McLean is.
And the ham was out of date.
Aye, it was mince.
Aye, anyway.
Fucking disgusting.
The league table looks like this then after most teams have played 10, but well, I say most, half have played 10, half have played 9, with Celtic leading the way with 26 points, Rangers 2 points behind, 5 points behind, should I say, 21 points, not a lot in it. Rangers will be looking to get that gap down, if not stay the same, heading into the next Old Firm match.
I mean, crucially though, Celtic have played, 6 games away and only 4 at home, and you've got to look at things like that. Well, Rangers have played 6 games at home and lost fucking 2 of them.
Yeah, that's not good. Goal difference though is relatively close.
Yeah, and I think for a Rangers team that's got nothing up front, that's actually quite impressive that it is like that.
No, definitely. Rangers, they've had, 4 away games, only conceded 1 goal away from home. That's solid. That's definitely decent.
Bottling it in front of the faithful then.
But they seem to be conceding more goals at IBROX, although 3 of those 5 goals did come against Aberdeen. So, I mean, if you factor in, Rangers more often than not are keeping clean sheets.
Yeah, they are, but...
But they're not second all by themselves, because if St Mirren win their game in hand, they could go level on points. Potentially go above Rangers, but they would need an 8-goal swing to do that.
That's not happening then.
Well, maybe if they're playing St Johnstone, they could.
Well, maybe it could, but they just beat them 4-0.
Well, why can't they double it?
Why can't they double? Let's look at the other end. I mean, what are Hearts, Hibs and Aberdeen doing? I mean, they're supposed to be putting themselves on the table for this takeover news. Who do I take over any of these 3? Come on. 3 fucking Diddy clubs. It's all about St Mirren. I think St Mirren are finishing 3rd.
Hearts are 10 games into the season and have scored 9 goals. And Stephen A. Smith promised attacking football.
Well, Stephen A. Smith is full of shit then. I would feel sorry for St Mirren back to them if they got 3rd and it wasn't guaranteed European football.
I think it will be guaranteed European football. And you know what? St Mirren deserve it. I don't see them being caught, to be honest with you. I really don't.
I could see...
I think they're a step above the other teams right now.
I could see the Paisley Stadium being a fucking fortress in Europe. Would you agree with that?
Could be.
Could be. Same with Levy. I said Real Madrid wouldn't win on that pitch. Although, yeah, maybe I'll take that back. But for Barry Robson, will he be the next manager to go? I'm going to absolutely say yes. Barry Robson needs to fucking go. The guy is shite.
He's not very good, is he?
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. And you know what? We're just seeing a continuous trend. He will go, right? Then Naismith will go. And you know what? You look at like a Tony Docherty, he's took over at Dundee. He's doing way better than Barry Robson. And who was he the number 2 to? McKinn's. So I think there is...
Your football knowledge is pish, right? You can say I can't point to teams on a map. But at least I know my players, my managers.
Right, name me St Johnstone starting 11 then. Hit me with it.
Well, up front, you've got Stevie May and Nicky Clark.
They normally start from the back. Exactly.
You got that Ukrainian goalkeeper, I believe he is.
Hungarian.
Ah, well, same shit.
Anyway, you've named enough players, right? Who's going to be next to go? I'm going Barry Robson. Is Davy Martindale in danger?
No, Davy Martindale's fit. How could Davy Martindale possibly be in danger? The guy's 1 win away if he move into 4th. Let's
the
just fucking calm the beans.
It's a shame it's not here. There's 7 teams battling for this league and 1 win could move you from 7th to 1st. I mean, why is it not like that?
I think it'll be Barry Robson who goes next. Although if Aberdeen win their game in hand, they do go above Hearts. So
seen a lot of Aberdeen fans fighting amongst themselves on Twitter saying, "Oh, it's all the part-time fans that were here after the win at IBROX, but now they're bashing Barry Robson after this defeat." I just don't buy the European hangover, man. I don't.
You don't? No?
No, I don't buy it. I don't think you buy anything. Falling asleep on me there. What about your team? Down at Portobello Beach? Hit me with it. Send a fucking message to Matthew Miles while you're at it. Tell him where to go.
Home. There you go. That's where I think you should go.
What about his team? Any words for his team?
They can go fucking home as well.
They can go fuck themselves.
They can go home.
Right, well, let's wrap this up. Matchday 10 is in the books. Midweek action. I cannot wait for the first midweek action of the season for the league.
It's actually crazy that we're this far in and there's not been any midweek games.
What I would say is, though...
County did play Dundee midweek.
Where's Celtic at home to?
St Mirren.
Oh, tell you what. No game on TV.
I tell you what, though.
Rangers away
if St Mirren beat Celtic and Rangers win and the gap goes down to 2, it will be squeaky bum time.
It will be pandemonium at Celtic Park,
I'm sure
Hugh Keevins would say.
And I'm sure the Green Brigade support of Brendan Rodgers would quickly Fall away, aye. It wouldn't be there anymore.
It wouldn't be there. It would not be there, guys. Brenda would be at the door, and he'd be back down the road wearing a wee poppy, wouldn't he?
He would be. Obviously, he's not allowed to wear one at Celtic Park. Big Ange had one on, so fair play to him and whatnot. Anyway, that's it. Let's just wrap it up here. Aye. Celtic.
Who's the winner of the weekend?
Winner of the weekend. I would say it's probably Rangers, even though, based on performance, it's St Mirren. But I think it's Rangers, considering that they were like a couple of minutes away from losing, and they ended up winning, and then Celtic drew. So Rangers have turned what could have easily been a fucking disastrous weekend into a great weekend in the space of from like the 89th minute onwards.
Yeah, you know what?
So it's probably them.
The league would have been officially over if they lost.
But St Mirren, it's hard to take away anything for St Mirren. Kilmarnock as well, good win at home against Aberdeen.
Dundee as well.
Dundee. Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of good teams that have done well, that had good weekends. But for me, I think if Celtic had to beat Hibs, I wouldn't say Rangers, but the fact that Celtic did drop points and then Rangers in the last, couple of minutes managed to get 2 late goals and turn a defeat into a win, I think they probably had the best weekend out of all these teams in Scotland.
I agree with that, and the worst weekend for me is Aberdeen. Absolutely, worst week. To blow a 2-0 lead, controversially or not, and then lose this game.
Well, it's weekend, alright, so it's not really about
What's
that.
next for them? Honestly, I just don't see Aberdeen up too much.
Job centre for Barry Robson. That's it, guys. Catch you in the next one. Fog Football. Peace out.